Hello interwebs, welcome to Let's Fix Computers. Look at what I've got here. This is an old Fujitsu Siemens something. It's probably circa 1995, I would imagine. Maybe a little bit newer because it's got dual PS2 ports rather than an AT port. However, the reason why I've got this grotty old thing on my bench is on Thursday evenings I do a Throwback Thursdays gaming stream on my friend's Twitch channel, FlinkBK. Where I play retro shooters and other old games from the 90s. And I was thinking, just to have a bit of a laugh, that I would build up an old period computer and spec it up to play the old games on and get a CRT monitor and a capture card and everything. So I don't know how far I'm going to go with this, but this is the first time I had a quick look at it when it came in, but I haven't actually identified what we've got here. So I'm going to go through this and just see what I can do with it. And if it all goes to plan, I want to deck this thing out. Oh blimey, it's in a bit of pieces. We took the hard drive out of it to clear the customer's data off of it. So we've got to do a little bit of repairs here. But what I want to do, I want to max this thing out with as much RAM as it can take. I want to overclock the nuts off of the little CPU that's down there. And we're going to fit it with a Voodoo accelerator graphics card. All of that good stuff. Anyone who's been a gamer in the 90s should look into this thing and go, oh my god, it's so familiar. So first things first, we're just going to take all of this out and just see what we've actually got, because there's a lot of weird stuff in this that I don't know if it needs to be there or not. So first things first, let's just cut some of these cable ties. Man, what is this? I've seen old computers before, but we've got a daisy chain ribbon going between these cards here. I think it might be an audio line, because all of these cards have all got audio in common with each other. Right, what's this? This is some kind of modem. Computer peripherals, comm center 28. That's probably a 28 bits per second dial-up modem. This bus that we're using here, oh, I can't even remember the name of it. It's not PCI, it's, I'm going to have to find that in post because I can't remember the name of that bus, it's that old. Right, this is our main sound card. We've got an analog audio lead, that goes up to the DVD drive, because in the old days for CD music on games or otherwise, that was all handled by the drive itself, and it came down an analog audio cable directly to your sound card. These days, of course, it's all digital. Okay, so what is that? We've got line in, line out, microphone speaker, and we've got a MIDI connector. Vibra 16C. Oh, Creative Tech. So that's Creative Technologies. Now this one, I have no idea what this is going to be. This thing's powered. We've got Molex going into this. Where's that going to? That's going up to the front. Oh yeah, there's no pins on that. It's a dummy card. Yeah, this looks like some kind of amplifier. We've got a right and a left speaker output here. So this is probably this is literally a speaker amplifier, so you can plug multimedia speakers into this, and it's powered to power the speaker amplifier. It's got and then it has a data cable that was going back to the sound card for the audio, and it also had another pin out that's going to the front of the computer. Those up and down arrows that were on the front, those plus and minuses there, that must be a volume control. So that's what that is all about. So let's keep on moving. Right, we've got a PCI card here, very advanced. Okay, we've got S3 Verge. Haven't been seen in a while. You see S3 graphics, you see these on some very old computers and old laptops. But yeah, what do we got? That's interesting. 64 3D. I wonder if that's got 3D acceleration on board. I'll be very impressed if it does. 1996 is a bit early to have hardware acceleration. because the only other hardware acceleration was from the Voodoo accelerator cards. But it's possible. We'll have to see what we can do with that and see if this is any good or not. So yeah, if we do play games on this thing, we're going to get a Voodoo card in this, like Voodoo 2, maybe a Voodoo 3, and that will have hardware acceleration. So it won't really matter what the 2D graphics card can do. So let's put that to one side. Right. That's our DVD IDE cable. And we've got an AT power line going to the motherboard. And we've got a weird selection of memory here. Yeah, we've got expanded memory. Let's see how much expanded memory we've got. This is not DDR. This is not even SD. This is EDO RAM, EDO. And EDO RAM needs to be installed in pairs, which is why there's two matching pairs here. So let's just take one of these modules out and just see what we've got. Oh, there we go, EDO RAM. I have no idea what this is. There's no hints on it as to what size module this might be. We've got a model number here. It's got 4096 on it, but it could be 4 megabytes. So for a possibly 16 megs of RAM, it's possible. I know that 16 megabytes of RAM might sound horrific, but it's quite possible for the age of this computer. Let's take out one of the expanded ones and see what those are. No, I am none the wiser. No, God knows what this is. I could try Google searching the model numbers, but to be honest, I think the fastest way to really find out what we've got here... Ah, hello, that one's got a... this other module has a label on it. 2 megabyte times 32 EDO. Right, so that's either a 32 megabyte module or it's a pair of 16s. Either way, we've got at least 32 megabytes of memory there. And if we've got another 8 there, we've probably got... So it could be 32, it could be 64. Who knows? Honestly, neither would surprise me. Let's get this fitted back in. I think we've seen all we're worried about there. Got to start from this side. There's so little clearance around these modules. You can see why the SD module format went to a vertical insertion. Okay, that's our RAM. Right, let's see what chip this is. God, look at that. Socket 7. Here's something I haven't seen in a long time. Look at how few pins there are. Right. We've actually got a label on the bottom of this. Let's remove that sticker so we can see what it says. There's our product label. I've put a few scratches on trying to get that sticker off, but it'll be okay. These things are literally made of ceramic, so they can take quite a lot of punishment. So let's just quickly dial in that model number and see exactly what we're dealing with here. Ah, there we go. Pentium i166. I'm guessing that's 166 megahertz. Interesting. This is a slightly newer one than the last time I saw a Pentium 166. My first computer that I grew up with was a Pentium 166, so this is getting oddly nostalgic. However, it had a different cap to this. It was a different package. So let's just... I'm going to bash in that serial number and just identify exactly what this is. Right, so that's confirmed. What we've got here is a Pentium 166 with MMX technology. So that's 166 megahertz, 512 kilobytes of level 2 cache, 66 megahertz front side bus. It runs on approximately 2.8 volts, and its TDP is 13.1 watts. Okay, very cool. Let's put him back in. Whoop. Now, what kind of jumpers have we got down here? Got a couple of jumpers here and a couple of jumpers there. What I'm hoping for is that some of these jumpers will allow me to overclock the processor, because they don't exactly have overclocking options in the BIOS on these old things. However, it might be a case of some of the actual chip jumpers might be shortable to adjust the multiply, or with a bit of work I might be able to modify the speed by manipulating some of these jumpers here. I can see a couple that are in an open position and a couple that are enclosed, so we might be able to look up and see what those do. We'll come back to that another time. So for now, I'm just going to put some parts of this back in, and we'll just get that back into a constructed position. And then I think the next stage is to get a hard drive in there, just simply so we can start the thing up and get it running again. And we can work on tuning from there. Right, for the sake of tidiness, I'm going to remove the serial and parallel ports, because I'm not going to be using those. I want to reduce all this stuff, because if this project goes to plan, I want to pimp this box. I want to make it look like show style, because I think that would be absolutely, for me, that's just really, really funny, is to get this really old computer and deck it out so it looks like show condition, just old. I think that's going to be amazing. And to do that, I'm going to take out the bits that we don't need. So those serial ports, I'm not going to use them. I'm going to be using a PS2 mouse and keyboard. However, I'm not going to be using anything that's going to plug into the serial connectors. So we'll leave them out, and that reduces a lot of the cable clutter in here. Okay, right, let's refit the CPU fan. There's no thermal paste on this, just a thermal interface pad. And a natty little 40mm fan. Cool. Alright then. Okay, what's this? This is the floppy drive connector. I don't know whether... Yeah, we will leave the floppy drive in. I'll simplify these wires though. The good thing about these ribbon cables is you can literally cut them and reduce them down to a single connector. So when we get serious with this thing, we'll do that. However, in the meantime, I'm just going to connect this stuff back up. Red goes toward the power. So that's going to go that way up. Let's put the graphics back in. Right, and we'll fit the sound card again. And that will do for now. So, I'm going to come back to this in the next section of this video. We'll fit a hard drive to it, make the last connections, and give the whole thing a good clean out, and hopefully we'll install an operating system on it. I haven't decided whether to run Windows 98 or Windows 2000 yet, so we'll see how that goes. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.